Well, let's begin then with Skye Air, which is a drone-based solutions provider. The company just recently launched a traffic management system for drones in India. What exactly is that? How does it work? And what is Sky UTM, which is the first of its kind solution? Well, I spoke earlier with the co-founder and the chief executive officer of Skye Air. That is Ankit Kumar. Let's hear out that slice of conversation. So clearly, drones seem to be the future. I'm going to come to that. But for now, let's understand how exactly the software is going to work. So basically, it will allow these drone operators to plan routes and make flight plans and assess risk before running their operations. So would it be akin to a sort of traffic system that we have on road?
Thank you, Avanne. Thank you for having me on the show. Sky UTM is clearly, one of the game changers into the industry. We're talking about Indian airspace, which is very complicated, which has got multiple levels of aircrafts flying in, civil aviation aircrafts, helicopters, defense aircrafts, etc. If drones have to take shape in a larger way, and if you want the drones to populate the whole airspace with multiple use cases and applications, as we have seen drones delivering, surveying, inspection, agri, farming, and multiple other activities that drones have proved to be a very reliable and a very big boon for the country and standing out to help different levels of industries and application segments. If that has to happen, we need to ensure the airspace is safe. We need to ensure the traffic management in the airspace is very much reliable, very much up to the limit, and is allowing different levels of drones to exist and coexist with the manned aviation. That is what Sky UTM basically does. It stitches the manned aviation and unmanned aviation and brings up different levels of technology together to ensure the skies are safe and the airspace is open for different applications and different drones to do different kind of activities. That's what we are here for, doing and trying to establish the similar levels of things.
It's super interesting and super cool, might I add. Now, I understand that globally there's several companies like US-based AirMap and then you have Netherlands-based Airbus. They're offering such solutions. So are you saying that in India, a startup is the first of its kind to offer this kind of a service and that there is no one who's existing and currently doing this?
Yes, absolutely. And not just that, but this startup, this UTM, the platform, is world's most advanced UTM platform. It goes in three different ways. Provides you a registration engine where you can go and register your drone for anybody who's flying a fleet of drones, or anybody who's flying a single drone, from aerial filming to different other applications like delivery and tomorrow in the future, even drone taxis. Everybody can register, everybody can get to know where the airspace is there for me to fly. I should not get into a red zone or a geo zone, which is not permitted for fly. Go and fly in, etc. at a certain altitude. So it makes you very compliant with the regulations. It makes you very much to go and diversify and do a lot with the drones. And at the same time, it creates levels and levels of airspace map and ground map, which helps you to navigate between the buildings as well. So say for example, you want to fly within a urban population. Now in urban population, the challenges that comes is you have a lot of obstacles. You have buildings, you have different levels of slender obstacles like telecom towers, like power transmission towers, etc. This maps and this gives you everything that which is the right path for you to go and select and fly your drone, which is free from any sort of obstacles and which has got limited to zero blind spots from connectivity perspective. Because if you lose connectivity with the drone, that can result in different levels of chaos in the sky, which we don't want to happen. Sky UTM brings up everything together to provide you autonomous navigation, to provide you airspace regulation at one page for you to prepare and create a flight plan and submit that flight plan to regulatory authorities to approve it. And in that way, it becomes one of the most advanced. Now, over and above this, look at what it provides to different single-use interface users. You don't need to download the app. You can even do and become compliant on in WhatsApp UTM. So that's a new concept that we brought in, called as WhatsApp UTM, for people who are living in different regions, different territories of India. I find it very difficult to download an app and the connectivity, other issues which are there. They can go with WhatsApp UTM. They can chat with the AI-based system that we built in the backend, which is going to help them to be compliant. And they can fly in a compliance oriented airspace, ensuring that everything is going in a safer manner. So that's what we are trying to build, and that's what we have launched recently on 7th of February, where Shri Nitin Gadkari ji has done this entire launch for the people of India, the Indian society, to start adopting drones to a higher level.
Okay, fine. So that's really how exactly that technology works. And I understand as well that there have been requests from other, drone makers, etc., that the government should make the digital Skye API public so that third-party apps and service providers can pull data from it and build apps that are more user-friendly. Is that a request from the industry or on the wish list?
Absolutely, that's been a request for some time now. Because it's a tedious process to get data pulled up manually, how we do it today. If digital Sky is able to provide the APIs, it would be much automated and much easier, and a real-time data update should happen. We deploy a couple of members to 3 members to just work on looking at where the map is getting updated, and the map in real time is getting updated every day. And every day, some of the other geo zones and green zones and red zones are being added. So we need to keep our users very much updated on those lines. However, we are pulling all the data manually and putting into the system, allowing them to still have the similar level of service. However, it would be a great boon if Digital Sky is going to open up and provide the APIs for auto integration.
Okay. Now, also, I just wanted some clarity to understand it better. I understand that as per India's drone rules 2021, restrictions were set as to where private entities can fly zones designated by green, red, and yellow zones, etc. So now all of this information can be obtained from Digital Sky, which you're saying that that you guys facilitate. And what exactly are the rules right now?
See, the regulation remains same that you just talked about, right? You have a red zone where you cannot fly, which is a prohibited airspace, which is 5 kilometer vicinity of an airport. You have 5 to 8, which is a yellow one zone, which is again subject to ATC approval and subject to further approvals. Only you can go and fly in those corridors. And then you have yellow 2 and green zones where you can go and fly, but you need approvals, etc., to count in and come for. Green zones are some approvals. However, you need to coordinate with ATCs, etc., if there are any geo zones, and you need to take permissions from geozone authorities in that particular way. That's the regulation today, which is very fair, simple, and has been deployed for over a year now, and which is allowing the airspace to get populated and drone applications to literally take shape and rise. Now, what is happening today, if you look at a pilot today, looks into the Digital Sky airspace map, plots the whole area where I can fly, where I cannot fly. Go to Google Earth, plot a line, look into the terrain data, look into the altitude at which they need to fly, and as per regulation, we cannot fly over 400 feet AGL. So the pilot needs to ensure that he's flying not over 400 feet AGL. He needs a lot of data on terrain. He needs a lot of data on other activities as well. And then the third thing, he looks into the weather engine. He looks into the what kind of weather is going to be. Is it windy, rain, etc., to start the entire equipment. And there are levels of platform that one person currently uses. Just to give you a gist, there are 6 to 7 platforms a person currently uses to prepare a flight plan and then go and execute that flight plan. But the question is that whether everybody is aware about where the drones are flying in the airspace or not. The answer to that is no. Not everybody is aware about where the drones are flying. The whole idea is to make people more compliant, link all these 7 systems, what they're using today, to one system. And that is what Sky UTM essentially offers. It's one system where you have all the 7 data that you can take, utilize it, you can take advantage of it, you can put your flight plan, and that flight plan in the back end is also submitted to approval in yellow zone, etc., or to green zone authorities or to geo zone authorities, and they can approve, they can disengage, they can say, they can deny, etc. And based on that, we come back and we give it to different users what they can do and what they cannot do in the airspace. So advisories are given by us. If there is a heavy wind heading that way, we provide advisory on there is a heavy wind, big gust wind which is heading your way. It's not advisable to fly. So all this advisories is provided onto the system, and that helps users to plan things better. That helps users to become more compliant.
Right.
to fly in
So,
the right
I
airspace.
just wanted to understand from you really the future of drones, because it really seems that with the kind of advancements that we're seeing in AI, drones are really becoming a lot more intelligent, more efficient, and even capable of tackling a lot of sophisticated tasks. So, what exactly is the next breakthrough when it comes to technology for drones, and how do you see it really taking over? What's the future?
So I think we have, last couple of years, it has been about the adoption of drones. Today, we are talking about a wider adoption and scalability of drones. A lot of technology has now started being built in India. And that's where we go towards a technological Atmanirbhar Bharat, where things will start developing at a very, very high scale. The batteries, the motor controllers, etc., everything will start happening and everything will start becoming more indigenized. While that happens in the background, the adoption is really increasing in different sectors, especially agricultural and delivery. And these are two sectors where it is required. And it eases a lot of things which are going in that direction. So I believe 2023 is a year where delivery, agri, and towards the end or early 2024, even drone taxis will start happening. And you will be able to see the airspace with multiple drones flying for different application, different purposes. And the whole navigation and the whole safety of the airspace will remain on UTM systems to engage, create a pathway, create drone corridors, create tunnel-based navigations, etc., which will ensure there is a secure sky and everything happen in harmony and everything happens in data coordination and information coordination, which will be happening between two aircrafts or two drones which are flying towards each other or towards in a
Right.
particular airspace.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Drones really taking over. Ankit, thanks so much for taking time out and joining in and giving us a view on how this new technology is really going to work.